All right, just got done my midday run. Probably gonna go to the gym or just work out after this. But obviously, I had to film a video for you guys today. So, as the title says, we're gonna be going over my personal and then just some just insight for you guys, because obviously this is as much for me as it is for you guys. So I want to take the time to go over what I think personally, and then how you guys can implement this into your own trading journeys and lives as well. So obviously, this is a journey from unprofitable to profitable. So this is looking towards the future. So I mean, maybe January, February, we can come back and look at this video and see how much I followed it. But for right now, this is just laying out the groundwork, and we're gonna make a plan. So every trader on social media, they will tell you you can get rich trading. Follow this strategy, you do this, you will get rich trading. And every trader, they'll teach you how to make money. I mean, I'm guilty of this. I have so many videos talking about how to start day trading, how I want to get rich day trading. But none of them tell you what to do when you first get that, when you get that first payout, when you actually make it trading. So that's what this video today is going to be, not only for me but for you guys as well. So first things first, that first payout, right? That first, however much it is, right? You're probably gonna want to set aside, right? And a lot of people don't talk about this, but you have to set aside some money for taxes. So, here in the U.S., the nice thing about futures trading, which I do, which I'm assuming a lot of you guys do, forex traders, they get taxed differently. So you actually pay a substantial amount less than equities traders who trade stocks or trade options. You're paying a significantly less amount of money in capital gains because of the nature of how futures work. So regardless of that, you're still going to want to set aside at least 20 to 30% per payout for your taxes. And if you don't know how to do them, you can always try to hire a CPA or find someone who does know how to do it to help you do your taxes. But that is very important, and it is something that you guys need to be focused on. So first things first, when you make profits trading or when you get a payout from a prop firm, you have to set aside 20 to 30% of that for taxes. So we're gonna throw that aside, and we're just gonna go from whatever you have left over. So from whatever you have left over, here's how I personally will manage it. So when it comes to cash, just having straight fiat currency, right? When you have it in your checking account, when you have it in a savings account, whatever, the general rule is to have either 3 to 6 months of expenses or have 5 to 10% of your total net worth in cash. And what that does is it gives you some liquidity, right? You can touch it easily. You don't have to pay taxes if you move it around. You can move it around very, very, very easily. And see that you want to have a good portion or an amount that you can survive off of without having to sell anything, without having to pay extra taxes, when you sell a stock or when you sell whatever. So you want to have 5 to 10% is the general rule. But because we are day traders, and because we have such a volatile profession where you can make so much money one month and be have a complete, I had a red month last month, you can lose a bunch of money in a month. So you definitely want to have more money saved up on the side. So I would say lean more towards the 10%, 10, 15, 20% in cash. But obviously it differs from person to person. So just understand where you are personally, and how your win rate, your how much you trust your model, if you're profitable, unprofitable. If you're still unprofitable and you don't have a bunch of cash and you're just not saving anything, you're just putting it all into you just gotta find a system that works for you personally, so that you'll continue to have success within your trading career, or just within trading. So have 10%, I would say that's my rule, right? 10% in cash. So what does cash mean, right? So when I say cash, I don't just mean leave it on a safe a checking account. You want to have, I would differ between these two options, because A, high liquidity, which means you can move it around easily, and then B, you're still getting yields. You don't want to just have your money sitting and losing money because of inflation. So I would either say a high yield savings account where you're getting at least 3.5%, or a money market fund where you're getting at least 3.5 to 4%. That's what I do personally. both of them have their benefits and their drawdowns. If you want like instant access to the cash, if you want to have like a physical card to access it, I would say go for an HYSA, which is a high yield savings account. But if you just want maximum yield, you know, still good liquidity, go for a money market fund like SWVXS or SPAXX, which is the Fidelity alternative to the other one. So getting that out of the way, the second one, and I feel like we have an advantage of this because we interact with the market so much, but then, you know, then again, not all of us are the same. So you guys are going to want to have at least a, you know, I say 30, 40, you can do more, 50, 60%. 60% is what I believe is the average allocation of the like top 1% of earners, which we're trying to get into. So yeah, anywhere from 30, 40, 50, 60, even up to 70% of your like total assets you want to have in some type of assets, right? Like some type of like, whether it's stocks, whether it's, I don't do real estate personally, but like if that's something you guys are interested in, then you guys can always look into that. But I have about, I want to say mine is like 70% in stocks or just like assets. So have a good portion of your net worth in it. And the reason I say that is because, one, you are not paying taxes until you sell, right? We all like, until you sell, you do not pay anything. So your money can just grow and grow and grow and grow in that stock. And as long as you don't sell, you're not paying taxes on it. Secondly, right, there is something, and a lot of traders don't know this, but a lot of stocks will pay you to hold them. And, you know, obviously that doesn't affect us with trading except on, I mean, not even in futures, but yeah, with certain stocks, if you hold them for a certain amount of time, you will get paid for holding it. It's something called a dividend. So you want to have those can, you know, generate with, you know, certain stocks generate more income, but you can have a second source of income coming from your, you know, your stocks. So you want to have something else to, you know, counteract your trading. So even if you have trading losses, if your portfolio is doing well, then you have that. Jeez, my fault. I want to say TJR talks about it a little bit in, you know, a couple of videos, but yeah, I just wanted to go more in depth to it today. So yeah, definitely have some type of long-term assets that are generating you income or generating you extra money to have that, you know, in your, you know, total net worth, so that your trading profits, you know, are not just all going into savings and just sitting and not doing anything for you. And then third, this is for, you know, this is more personal, so if you don't feel comfortable with like cryptocurrencies, then obviously you stay away from them. But I would say, especially if you're younger, especially if you're like 18 to 24, like around like my age group, right? Cryptocurrency is probably one of like the better investments you can make long term. Not only because they have that potential to grow so much, like obviously like cryptocurrency can go up, you know, up down like 50% of the day, but with the way that, you know, finance is changing, like decentralized currencies, or, you know, just decentralized finance as a whole, that's something you definitely want to, you know, get yourself exposure to. So if you guys don't understand that a lot, I can always make a second video on that, you know, later today or just later this week. You know, I might even upload like 2 videos today. Obviously we're staying with the series, but, you know, I will upload more videos for whatever you guys need. So that's about, you know, I would put about 5 to 10% into, you know, these different cryptocurrencies. I have talked about, you know, I call out some buys on like Instagram, so you guys have probably heard me talk about it on there. But yeah, so definitely, you know, like learn the nuances of the different ones, like learn which ones you feel comfortable holding, which ones you want to use for different things. Like Solana might be more as a currency if you want to trade meme coins, if you want to get into that space. If you just want to have a store of like value, Bitcoin might be great for that. If you know you like a mixture of both, an altcoin like XRP or Cardano, or you guys know what I'm talking about. But yeah, those might be good for like that type of, yeah, like HBAR. Those might be good, you know, if you're like still in between. So definitely do some research into different cryptocurrencies, and, you know, just understand how those markets work. I mean, that's basically all I have for this video, but I just wanted to give you an update on day 2 of the series. We took a win yesterday, so that's, you know, that's always good. And yeah, we're gonna be back at it again tomorrow. We have, you know, crazy stuff planned all month. Yeah, that's really it. So yeah, I appreciate the love on the first video. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Definitely posting more updates, you know, later today. So that's gonna be it for this one.